I'm sure you know this story. You've been spinning poi for your non-spinner friends, and while many of them are super impressed with your skills, as soon as you offer to teach them, this'll happen. The reasons they may give you why they don't want to try can be somewhat varied, and I'm here to debunk them all. Drex here from Drex Factor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain, and today I'm going to talk about the top 5 reasons I hear people give as to why they can't learn poi, and why none of them are true. Before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow DNA, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. And a special thanks to the first non-business friend of the channel, Johnny Howard. Thanks so much for your support, Johnny. Listen, we've all had this situation pop up. After all, we all want more flow me's to spin with, and there's no shortage of people out there who haven't experienced the joy of flow just yet. So how do you overcome that inertia that keeps people from crossing over into the flow world and connecting with their body in a new way? I'm here to help. Let's just say from the drop that if you don't want to spin poi, there's no reason at all that you have to. I have no desire to learn how to DJ or juggle poi personally. We're allowed to like what we like and invest our resources accordingly. But if it's a thing you kind of sort of do want to do, but you have yourself convinced that you can't, well, let's talk about that and why that might happen. I think you might be surprised. By far the most common reason I hear people give as to why they can't spin poi is that they're not coordinated enough and or too clumsy. Oi, for every yoga instructor who's heard somebody say I'm not flexible enough to do yoga, I feel your pain. So like, spinning poi isn't the domain of people who are already coordinated. It's how people that aren't very coordinated get better at it. I am eternally grateful that there are no videos on the internet showing the way that I moved before poi came into my life. I was frequently and still am legendarily clumsy. I was terrible at sports, I frequently clocked myself on door jams, and frequently tripped over my own feet. And learning poi helped me out immensely in getting comfortable with my own body, and more specifically in developing better coordination in it. Not only did I get less likely to bang my shoulders on doorways, but I also discovered that my coordination had improved to the point that I could eat and drink with my non-dominant hand. That was a really cool discovery. Yes, it takes time, and yes, you're going to hit yourself quite a bit on the way there, but trust me, this is not a reason to avoid spinning poi. It's actually a reason why you should pick it up in the first place. It'll help. Next up, I've heard plenty of people say that they can't spin poi because they don't have the time to take it up. And I totally get where this comes from too. A lot of us don't want to pick up something unless we can really devote ourselves to it, to say nothing of the fact that putting in practice time can frequently turn into an arms race among flow artists. The good news here is that the basics of poi generally don't take all that long to learn. It's relatively accessible, and there's nothing saying that you have to dive into it in such a way that you devote your life to spinning the prop. And honestly, it really is not that hard to find 15 minutes in your day to work on it. And yes, even devoting 15 minutes a day to spinning is enough for you to get down the basics and continue to improve with it. Now, I'll tell you a dirty little secret. For most of my first 3 years here in DC, the only time I was able to spin for fun was when I took my lunch breaks at work. 30 minutes a day was all I got to spend on this when I first launched my tech blog. You should go back and check those old videos and see just how far I could get with only those 30 minutes to work with. And just to sweeten the deal, I know that finding the time to practice is a pain, so I have a solution to it. If you join the Flow Circle on my Patreon, you get a new 5-minute video delivered to your inbox every week with a brand new drill that you can practice for 15 minutes a day that will improve your poi spinning. Check that out at patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. Next up, so poi is unique among flow props in that you have to keep it moving and you have to learn proper plane control. So I do see a lot of people worried that they'll wind up breaking stuff with them as they learn. And yeah, this is kind of legit. You are indeed probably going to want to clear out your practice area to avoid anything that is super fragile or that would not handle an impact well. But honestly, these are kind of the precautions you already have to do when there's a little kid or a dog around. Putting delicate things out of reach is a pretty frequent practice anyway. And on the flip side, if you have enough delicate things in your space that you're worried about moving through it, then you might actually benefit from picking up a hobby that gets you moving. Just saying. Of course, it's also not uncommon that people don't want to pick up poi specifically because it takes a lot of work to learn. And you know what? They're not wrong. Thing is though, especially as we age, the things that challenge us to engage in learning new things become ever more important. Our brains need new challenges, and that's part of what keeps them ticking through the decades. To say nothing of the fact that if an activity is physically difficult, it generally means that there's some basic motor skill there that is foreign to the person learning it. Working through that process, whether it be learning to paint or draw, dance or do yoga, and yes, even spin poi, is something your body can gain immeasurable benefits from. Truth be told, I like to think of that difficulty not as a bug, but as a feature. I think that we all too commonly avoid things that push us out of our comfort zone, and this becomes a problem for us as we get older. Not only do our bodies and minds settle into a routine, we tend to avoid challenges in whatever form they may take. And you know what? Having a small challenge that has no real stakes associated with it, that's pretty good practice for taking on bigger challenges that will have real stakes. Get over those humps with a ball on a string, right? Finally, one of the biggest pieces of inertia I encounter when people avoid learning poi is that they've simply decided that poi is something that's meant for someone else, someone more exciting, more cool, more adventurous than they are. Poi is for everyone. It's for globe-trotting hippies as much as it is for soccer moms. It's for children and the elderly. It's for quiet people. It's for loud people. It's for people that do it in front of thousands on a massive stage, and it's for people who do it in the comfort of their living room. Here's a secret. My life is surprisingly boring. When I'm not spinning and recording videos, I'm reading comics, watching movies and TV, and hanging out with my friends. I think you might be shocked by how similar I actually am to you. If the people around you give you crap for picking up a set of poi, remind them that it's probably healthier than reality TV or fantasy football. If it feels intimidating to spin around people that don't get it, yeah, I've been there. Find a place that is your own to practice in. And above all else, you don't need to fit any kind of stereotype or mold to take up poi spinning. You are exactly what a poi spinner is and should be. Just the way you are. So, if you've got friends who are hesitant about picking up the prop, send this video along and we'll see if we can change their minds. Poi has had incalculable benefits for my life, and I would love to see other people get to experience those benefits too. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to help other people find it and to help my channel grow. Real quick, I just want to throw out a huge thank you because this video would not be possible without the kind support of these wonderful people right here. These are my Flow patrons over on Patreon, and they, along with the people listed down in the description, help to make this video and all the videos on my channel possible. Do you like poi content? Do you like tutorials, flow sessions, and vlogs on flow arts culture? Consider signing up to support my work. I want to bring flow arts to the wider world and help people connect with their brains and their bodies through prop spinning. So help me do it. Head on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and sign up. You can do that either by clicking on the card that just popped up on YouTube or by using the link down in the description. Not only will you be supporting this mission, but you'll also be able to get early access to all of my content, a vote in what content I produce in the future, and a host of other awesome rewards such as getting a special weekly poi lesson delivered to your inbox that is available only to my supporters. Yes! That is the Flow Circle. So go give that a look and please consider supporting this channel. Thank you in advance. Do you have other reasons why you're hesitant to get into poi spinning? Please leave me a comment and let me know. Whether I agree with it or not, it's helpful for me to know what people are struggling with here. If you need a little bit more coaxing, I've left a link to a playlist of videos I've done on other topics in the flow arts down in the description, as well as up on screen if you are watching on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you take up the journey of flow. But for now, peace.